This WomanHood Shit with Sherlanda Faye. We're going to talk about women's wellness and everything that encounter. We're going to talk about single by choice. We're going to talk about the fairy tale is lies, actual lie. Ain't no Prince Charming. We're going to address women's sexual wellness. We're going to talk about purpose. We're going to talk about vision plan. We're going to talk about mind mapping. We're going to talk about women issues. Some women don't want to have babies. You feel me? We talk about women shit. Women shit. Let me give you the disclaimer. My intention is for women's wellness. So, with that being said, it's going to be some hard truths, some intense suggested dialogue, strong course language, and hard shit talked about that you don't want to be talking about. I'm finna talk about it. This is Women's Wellness with Sherlanda Faye. Vibe with me, ride with me, or change your channel. This is WomanHood Shit with Sherlanda Faye. So, this episode we're going to discuss choosing to become single. I call it single by choice. And I'm going to let that sink in for a minute because a lot of people have my notes, of course. A lot of people think that when you're single as a woman, and then it go with the age. So when you're single at 20, you good, you're figuring out whatever. When you're single at about 25, okay, what's going on with you? When you're single about 30, when you gonna get, married? Are you gonna ever have some kids? What you doing with your life? What's wrong with you? When you single at 40, something is wrong with you. I'm talking about as a woman. Now, this is what I experienced as a woman. But I wasn't single at those times. I just have seen people do that to other women. Now I'm single because of COVID-19 made me a widow, in 2021. Thank you for the comment. But I was married for 7 years in my 20s. I was married for 11, 12 years in my 30s, 29, in the 20s, 30s, all of my 30s. So most of my adult life, I have been somebody's wife. So now at 48, I'm single by choice, honey. You just don't understand. You just don't understand the freedom. Not, like the women right now that have been single and they're 35 and they're 40. They've never been married. They've never been but they chose career first. I didn't get the opportunity to do that. Now I'm gonna flip it. That's why I say when I hit 50, baby, you ain't tell me nothing. And I'm going through mental pause right now. You're not gonna be tell, babe. I'm sorry. Anyway, so choosing to be single is the best decision I think I've made as a older woman. And not saying ain't nobody trying to holler, because they always trying to holler. I mean, my second husband passed in 2021. I was engaged in 2022. I wasn't even trying to date. My sister made me get on them dating apps. And if you don't know if you want to be single or not, get on them dating apps. You gonna think about being single. If you don't want to be single, you gonna think about being single on them dating apps. And from 2022, no, 2022, okay, 2023, I said, let me cancel this engagement. So 23 is not 26. I just don't, and listening to the older, respectful women, that have lived, people like Whoopi Goldberg, people like young Lavanzon, people like Oprah, people and older women around me in my area, and that I've seen that are business oriented, have their own homes, taking care of their own business. Their kids are growing up, graduating high school, graduating college, moving on and doing things. I think I understand some things about womanhood on that level, and I do not want to compromise that, because I got another chapter, another episode that says I am a very, and I repeat, very unsubmissive woman. And I've been that way forever. I just didn't know it. And then they be talking about the feminine energy. I've been feminine energy. I've been taken care of. I just didn't know it. But anyway, so with that said, since my second husband passed and then going through that and almost becoming a wife again, I just don't think I want to do it. I don't think I want to do it. If I ever do marriage again, it gonna have to be a business decision, and then let love come in. Now, people gonna say, what she say? Yes, I think it's gonna have to be a business decision, and then let love come in, because this is one of my things under single by choice. When a woman gets married, she loses everything. Now y'all gonna say, no, she don't. She loses everything. Her identity is now entangled with another person. And whoever that person is, they're gonna look at you. Now, she might not be that, but they think that. They're gonna handle her like that. You have kids with this person. You're no longer you and him. Now you're you, him, and them. This is side of woman stuff that woman don't talk about. And that's what we're going to talk about on Womanhood Shit. Because becoming a wife is a death to me and a joy of becoming a wife. And I get that. And I got that because I've been a wife twice. But where did me go? That's the thing. So when I say single by choice, I'm not talking about single by choice. I'm on the outside looking in. No, I done did it 2 times. So I know, and I ain't talking about marriage like somebody beating you up or somebody. No, I'm talking about good men. Now, the men that I married were some good dudes, and they handles the business, do what they need to do, come home, do what I'm talking about. Good men. Now, God bless me right now. Good fathers to my children, but that still did not stop me from having to be their wife instead of being me. That's why I say single choice. So that's why I say marriage again for women like me that got their mindset. It gonna have to be something past financial. It gonna have to be something past whatever these people think. What they putting out there, it gonna have to be alignment. That's the word. So if there's an alignment, because if it's alignment, I know that I don't have to die to become wife. Let that sink in. How's that sinking yet? I don't have to die as Sherlanda. My personality, this is what my person, my somebodyness. I can still wear like I want to wear. I can cut it, keep it. I don't have to put on somebody else's image of what I should be. I can be Sherlanda, and you can be who you are. When you can get in a line, I had to throw some over back. When you can be your exact self, that's alignment. And then, 'cause in that space, I believe now when I've seen examples of this, of women that are exactly themselves and married, they flourish. The women flourish, the husband flourish, the children flourish, the whole family dynamic flourish. Everybody's growing, everybody's doing. Not saying that no hard time happened to these people, but the husband understand what he got, and he understand his role as husband. And people talk about with the roles. No, it's a role. Please understand, it's roles. Think about it. Think about it, and dissect it, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. But when the husband understand it, and he kind of understand woman, I mean, he ain't gonna never understand no woman completely, because a woman ain't gonna never understand no man completely, because we're completely different. However, you got some information about it, you learning, and he want to be with that girl, and she can be who she is. She gonna take care. I mean, it go like that. Them children, you ain't got to worry about the children. They taking care of the children. Mean children. You see what I'm saying? It's a dynamic that I think what we're supposed to have when when marriage was made. I think that's how it's supposed to be. But people ain't doing that. And I got another chapter on here say, well, we ain't got that yet. So I don't wanna give you that, because we ain't got it yet. Okay. Just keep on coming. Anyway, another thing, and I'm giving y'all this kind of quickly on the first season, because I want to dive deeper in it on the next season. And on the next season, I'm gonna bring in some guests. Maybe I'm gonna bring in one or two. I know I want to bring in. So okay, but and then with the single by choice, let me get my notes, because I got some notes. I can talk about this all day, baby. We just talked about women give up their 70, and I look at this. I look at that, and I'm like, women. People don't understand. Women don't understand. I don't think women understand this before marriage. What you give up. Men don't understand what is being given up to marry. Both of y'all giving up stuff. He giving up stuff. You giving up stuff. Do you know who you are yet? So some of the reason of choosing to be single by choice is becoming myself. Because the reason why on the first episode, the intro, I didn't go into my childhood, because I already knew who I was. I've been knowing who I was since I was like 3 or 4, between 3 to 5 years old. You say, how can you remember that? Because I knew who I was. The exact, I know who I am, but then life, abuse, and abuse, and abuse. So I hid everything. And now I'm trying to get it out at 48. Because you still you. You still you. I don't care. That's why I'm doing this. Because it's women's wellness. Not just my wellness. Women's wellness. We got to become. Because if I become me, and you become you, and she becomes she, and her become her, and all of us, we're gonna do some extraordinary things. But we got to first become us. That's why I said, do you know who you are yet? And I'm going to tell you, at age 37 and a half, I was in religion, in church, Married in my second marriage, mama, wife, working. Everything, rolling good. But get what? When the Lord wants you to get your attention, He gonna get your attention. I'm talking about our Creator. When He gets your attention, baby, and you go like, well, I thought I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and then church ain't church, and let me tell you about I'm leadership. I love leadership, baby. Baby, protocol. I love her. I love a leadership, and I love a leader. But if leadership ain't leadership, and everybody thinking about the pastor is the master, and prayer team and ain't pray because I done been prayer team, usher bowl, admin, auxiliary. I done did the auxiliaries. That went it though for me. I'm talking about for me now. So I rushed into God at 37. I never forget. I said, I'm not going to another church till you tell me what's happening. So 37 and a half, for some odd reason, everybody say money. I went and I prayed, and I was a praying fasting, something other baby. So I started finding Dr. Miles Monroe. Miles Monroe videos on YouTube. Miles Monroe. Everything Miles Monroe. I said, let me just start listening. So he was specifically speaking about purpose. Those videos, yes. And the kingdom of God. Not religion. He was talking about the kingdom of God. God's offspring, meaning us. When I started getting those messages and getting those videos, the layers of who I was started peeling back. And it started peeling back onto mamahood, peeling back on wifehood, peeling back on what mama didn't want me to be, peeling back on. And I'm like, do I know who I'm in? So that's why I asked this question on my notes. I got in single by choice. Do you know who you are yet? Because I thought I was all those things, but deep down on the inside, God knew who I was. He was trying to show me who I was. But I had to get the kingdom message. I had to get that. And I had to start getting the word of God to rinse out and clean out. And then, I started singing again. I started to love to sing again. I started to love people, to talk to people again. But see, these are the things that I was hiding because I always knew who I was. I always knew I was supposed to sing. I always knew I was supposed to speak. I always knew I was supposed to write. I always knew that. But as a kid, how do you know it as a kid? You'll see it and it will burst in you. That happened to me between 3 to 5. So I already knew. But then life, and then abuse, and then that, and then that, which is all in this book right here. This right here. Started over at 40. See, I told you I've been doing this. So now it got to come out. But I know who I am now. And it's part of the reason why I'm still choosing to be single by choice, because I know who I am and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't want nobody to take that as a burden, like me being their spouse, or like you know what you're supposed to do and you can see the trajectory of that, and the person you talking to need bad, and you know you got to travel. You see what I'm saying? So you got to kind of feel that out. And then if they can't handle, like you a powerful executive woman, you got to have your woo 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 wah wah wah, bam. But you got somebody still street and insecure. It's not gonna work. I don't care how good his dick is, boo. It's not gonna work. And we're going to get to that too, baby. It's not going to work. Teach somebody else. The other note I got under single by choice. So remember all these things, like the key phrases I'm saying, we're going to dive deeper in. But these are just the introductions of womanhood shit. For all the womanhood shit, baby. Have a healthy relationship with yourself. Please do that. Even if you married and you love your husband and y'all whoop the wine, start to have a personal relationship with yourself. Supposed to be your creator, yourself, boom. Then everybody else. Because get what? If you ain't happy with you, you gonna make people around you unhappy. How am I do that? Cause you ain't happy with yourself. Oh, I don't, your energy ain't right. They don't even want to be around you. So learn to love yourself. Have a personal relationship with yourself. I tell you how to start it. What you like and what you don't like about yourself. Let's do that. I'm gonna use myself for example. These glasses. Now these glasses are all right. But I had some glasses preview today that I loved. I can't find them no more. So these are right, but this ain't it. So I'm just wearing different right now until I get look how I'm doing. But you see what I'm doing? But that me though, I've learned that about me. You see what I'm saying? Now I wear my hair short. Don't let these braids fool you now. I'm a licensed barber. I just cut some hair, baby. This is talking about. You see that hair? I cut some hair, baby. What I'm trying to say is, I throw a wig on too now. Don't lock me to no hairstyle. I throw a wig on. What I'm saying is, I know that about me. I know I'm aware. Now you catch me with some long hair, but I'm gonna cut that hair, baby. So why would I get with a man that love women with long hair? This is what I mean by learning yourself, becoming yourself. Do you know who you are yet? And having a healthy relationship with you. Because if you have a healthy relationship with you first, you gonna know. Oh, he like women with long hair. He pay bills and he do all this, but he love women with long hair. That ain't me. Or he love tall women. I'm 5'5". That ain't what tall for a woman? 5'8", 5'9". I'm 5'5". That ain't me. He love women with little booties. Well, that ain't me because I got a booty. You see what I'm saying? So I want to get into me and love exactly me so that when these opportunities for relationships, romantic relationships, because that was single by choice, I mean, you ain't romantic because you got everything is a relationship. Yeah, I got a dog over there. A relationship. So what I'm saying is, I'ma love me first and absorb all of loving me first before somebody else can come in here and try to say anything. When you no, I don't resolve that with myself. And see, this is what you start doing when you start becoming an older woman or older person, and you done lived, and you like, I don't enjoy that. I don't. No. So you already learned that about yourself because you're having a relationship with yourself. So why even involve somebody else when you already know that ain't it? That ain't it. That ain't it. No, I'm not gonna have an orgasm if my clitoris is not involved. Learn yourself. Have a relationship with yourself and be comfortable and confident in expressing that as a woman. So I'm trying to keep the episode around about 20 minutes. So we're over. Now in season 2, the episode might go on further, but they just needed my introduction of womanhood shit. And I'm gonna put all this on YouTube. Womanhood shit. Go ahead, hit that subscribe so we can go live. Yes, baby. All right, that's single by choice. Remember, these are just the highlight this the umbrella topics. We're under womanhood shit because we gonna dive in there some more. Okay. Bye boo. This space is for my sponsors, whomever they are. This is where your products and your services, wherever will go in my podcast. This will be your space. This is WomanHood Shit with Sherlanda Faye, where my sole intention is women's wellness. That's what I do. And right here, we'll talk about your product. And we'll let the people know what's happening. Like I always say, you can vibe with me. You can ride with me. Or you can simply change your channel.